So good morning. This is Simon with Trade and Perform Coaching doing the market preview for March 25th. I did not get NQ's chart knocked out. The one thing I do want to point out about NQ, we did trade below prior day's low from the 21st, right? So we stopped one time into the upside, which is good, right? We look for a change in character. It doesn't necessarily have to roll to the downside. I have no idea how to interpret the news relative to what's going on with Germany, nor do I care. What I do care about is that we should have a two-sided market. So number one on NQ, huge area right there. I'm literally going to post out the chart. So I'm doing it, yellow, yellow. There's a lot of resistance there. And this, okay, this, if we had been trading down here and we get up here, this should act as a white zone, an over-under. Okay, normally I wouldn't do it, but we're already opening below. So that becomes my white zone up above, and then the zones remain underneath. Right, all these are valid locations for overnight, for both overnight and for today's session. And we have excess at the low and a poor low. Right, I just simply don't expect it to go straight to zero. There is room to the downside down to 72.82. And it looks like the overnight low came in at, if I can find it quickly, $72.90. So we fell just shy of this location. And what they used clearly was that swing instead of coming into the anomaly. Don't be surprised if we break that swing, come into the anomaly, and then find responsive buys back up. Pretty straightforward. I will post this chart. Thank you. Rename 3, 2, 5. Okay, let me post up those levels real quick. Okay, so see where all this is. I want to point one thing out. See all these blue levels right here? Just like on Friday, those blue levels are easily traded through. It's on a pretty damn big stretch. You need a lot of momentum and sell pressure to slice straight through once you're already on a 200-point stretch. But they can be broken. Because they're on such a big stretch, I do expect these areas in general to get counter rotations, even though they're light blue in color. Hopefully that makes sense. What am I missing on this chart? Hold on a second. Something's missing. The magic little prior days high-low. Again, I apologize. I did not get this done over the weekend. ES is already done and posted. And that does it. So file, save all, and I think this part probably going to be more important than the up part. We'll go back and rework this if we need it. Edit, chart to PMP, file, save as, JPEG. Thank you, 0325, save. And here's NQ for Monday. Remember, Mondays usually end up being balanced days. Hopefully it's just a wide range balanced day. Well, Peter, we all need those reminders, right? Sometimes we just forget how effective we are at doing that in general. Actually, you can just remove the tick part. Probably most of us need a reminder that we can just do it without the tick, right? And let's do CL really quick. So CL is clearly on an inside day. Again, I get a lot more stops when I'm inside prior day's value. Let me do this really quick. La, 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 la. And let's see. Actually, we got to do. This is what we got to That is yellow, gap fill. Top of open window. Style dash. Color yellow, mid of half. That will usually be our location to look for counter. Prior day's low, very poor low and very poor high on Friday on CL. There we go. And damn, I guess if you had to have zones on that, that's it because it's outside of value. But that's an ugly profile. And this becomes light blue. Meaning it's easily traded through. That's it on CL. Let's go get that profile. There we go. Let's drag this over here to see how we've done so far. And that's about right. $58. If we get beyond 56, I'll post up more levels. I don't think we will on Monday, but if we do, I will make the change. And as you see, we're just balancing edit. Okay, for those of you on YouTube, past performance is not indicative of future results. This is for educational purposes only. The point is to grab one or two. Interesting. Huh. I wonder if. Okay. I'm thinking. Hold on a second. File. Save as. Okay, there's CL posted for Monday on the Slack channel, guys. Okay, so really quickly, right? We had a vicious down day on Friday. I want to show y'all something. Let me get rid of this chart really quick. Let me get rid of this. Everything kind of fell out of bed, right? And I should have. I want to show y'all in visual on a 5-minute chart. So let me duplicate this chart, erase all, and then chart settings, advanced settings. Okay, and then let's do a 10-minute chart, chart settings. Let's do 200 days. I'll take a second to load. We'll cover the profile real quick while we do that. Okay. And I don't trade the first half hour for those of y'all who are new on the YouTube channel. I could care less what it does. Let it flow up and down or whatever it needs to do. Okay, so number one, what you'll see on ES, see how when we were up here, if you take away this day, that we had no point of control that was untested till down here, and how when we got down there, right? Yes, I know we danced around it, so on and so forth, but basically we found support and responsive buyers in this area. I know we closed underneath. Each of these locations, these are naked volume points. There's no massive secret about this, right? Each of these are naked volume points of control naked TPO points of control together. The gray is volume, the blue is the TPO point of control. So until we clear and hold underneath this area right here, right? Okay, so see when there's a single point, sometimes that holds, but it's really already been tested by one tick. Below that 2781 is really where you have a problem because there's a free shot all the way down to 2733. That does not mean that we will get it, meaning a big down day or downdraft in that area, but it's logical, right? The other thing to keep up with, I would have written down, I forget it all the time, guys, even though I know it's valid. Okay, so I try to write it down in my notes. I seem to forget it in the heat of battle because I'm looking for a specific setup intraday, right? But this is your 50-60 area right in here, which runs 2795 to 2780. Usually the first time into that location, you'll find responsive buyers. Don't be surprised that this morning we tag into that 2795 to 2780 location. We find responsive buyers and a push back up. It's normal. It happens all the time. Underneath here, right, underneath this 50-60 also coincides with coming down and testing that 2733. So it's not a prediction. The idea is to stay on point and on target, right? But if we get underneath 2780, probably not today, but maybe tomorrow or Wednesday, we do have an opportunity to have a nice fat down day down towards the 2733 area, where I am generally looking to be, again, a responsive buyer and or look for the trap underneath the swing low at 2726, meaning it pushes over, traps back in, and gives us a 50-60 back up. That's big picture, right? Small picture, what I am looking for, and I'm not trading a lot of ES right now, right? But what I am specifically looking for, I'm going to go back to Friday, which I traded horribly. Okay, and there's a couple things I'm hunting for specifically. Parallel areas where we have parallel fractals, right? Or a fractal that gives me a speed bar up, speed bar down. So I'll give you an example of that. Okay, I am looking for fractal up, fractal down, and either close above or below, preferably in the direction that my larger chart tells me. For a roll to the downside, that was at 844. I would not have caught that, right? But if you look on the other side as we push out, right? See on the bottom here where we finally see how you get no fractal up, fractal down through here. I'm trying to keep it very simple for everyone. Throwing out the 3 up, 3 down, although it's still valid, I'm looking for it, but I'm just trying to keep the most simple setup. Close above this point, long, right? Close below any of these points, short, right? Again, you'll see the fractal up, fractal down. Does it fail sometimes? Yeah, this actually technically didn't this technically triggered here by 1 or 2 ticks. I don't think anyone got caught out there, right? But if you look when we push down towards the bottom here, see that fractal up, fractal down where it's in real tight formation. Again, when you're getting above, you're not getting a green point of control above there. So a couple of points. A, this is a valid long right here, right? And it pushed you up. The reason why you wouldn't take this long is because you already triggered all the way back here. Why would you be reinitiating up here, right? And then the next question is, would you be shorting, or should I have been shorting down here? The answer to me is no. We were already deep in the hole. For me, I've had no evidence that we were going to roll down 50 points to that point, and I was looking, quite frankly, for longs. And to give an example of where a long would have failed, either this or you could have called this the long. Either one of those, even though it took forever to play out, they would have ended up resulted in a stop. It just chopped through there for a long, long time, and that would have resulted in a stop as well. Notice that where the stops came were all over New York lunch, and a bunch of things happened on Friday to change the character. Number one, we had expansion and rotation. We had expansion, meaning the intraday rotation size. Number two, the rotation, the day as a whole, we had massive range expansion. And then number three, it was first trend day down we've had in forever, right? You'll notice once we got out of New York lunch, the setups actually came pretty smoothly, and the afternoon actually worked quite nicely. I didn't take any ES trades on Friday. I was focused on NQ and CL, and I didn't do a very good job on Friday. I intend to hopefully increase my performance. I didn't do a horrible job. What had changed actually a really good lesson in there for everybody, myself included. So these 3 up and 3 downs had become, when it's a slower, less volatile market, right? So I'm going to go back a couple of days. If I took every close above or below, these are marking where my 3 down and 3 ups are. And if I had simply initiated while it was slow on every single one of these, I got paid, or would have been paid. Not only would have I been paid, but I'd been paid for weeks, right? But then, and so this is important, right? You have a trader who discovers, hey, look, 3 up, 3 down pays me all the time. I just take every single one of them, right? We close below, short, we close above, long. How simple can that be? I found the golden grail, right? Market rhythms, speed, and rotations and triggers change over time, which is why people have a difficult time not making money trading. Everyone makes money day trading. 3% hold on to that money and build money over time, right? So what happened on Friday was I was focused on the 3 up, 3 down. Why? I'd been getting paid for weeks on 3 up, 3 down, and I just didn't make the shift until about 11 o'clock in the morning. I said, that ain't working, right? And I stopped, right? That's why when I take those 2 quick stops back to back, I go, whoa, wait a minute. That's not normal. Stop, pause, and evaluate, right? And I got 2 different sets of feedback on that. One person asked, why are you changing your method? I'm not changing my method. I had a particular setup that had been working over and over again that all of a sudden stopped working very quickly. I'm allergic to digging holes. They're very freaking hard to get out of, right? So number 2, part of that formula is, how do I get back in, right? If I'm out of that formula, how do I get back into that formula of making money? That's really the question, right? How do I get back into that formula of making money if I'm, well, actually, let's go back. If all of a sudden I start losing money from something that's been working like clockwork, right? I don't want to dig a massive hole. There would have been no reward for me to continue to take those 3 up, 3s downs, because I'd have just dug a deeper hole, right? And they go, well, then does your method not work? Well, no, of course it works. It just doesn't work in certain market environments. And it's my job as a trader to figure that out as quickly as humanly possible and stop, right? There's no reward for going down a lot, right? And then make the adjustment, which I did at the end of the day, and I'll show you on NQ. We had the same issue on NQ. Let me drag it over for a second. So NQ, I took some quick stops, again, using the 3 up, 3 down. If you look at the end of the day, right, I was actually pretty bummed. I'd taken a long break. I didn't initiate any trades through that. I had 1 long, and it came back against me. I didn't make any adjustments for missing on NQ. I came within a tick of a 10-point rotation, missed the fill by a tick, and let it come all the way back against me for a loss, which is probably not the best trade management in the world, right? But then when you look, finally when we got towards the end of the day over here, and I missed that roll down, and then we finally bounced. Here, let me show you something all the way over here, right? And I finally got to the end of the day. You can see that I still have my drawings up from there. Wasn't looking at the 3 up, 3 down. I just simply said I had these 2 speed bar fractals underneath, fractal up, fractal down. I wasn't willing to take the long. We already had a 50-point rotation off the low. But I did say if we closed underneath here, I'm going to follow process, even if I get stopped, and I'm going to tag in. I ended up tagging just short here at 74. I want to say 08 or 09, and then I tried to get a backside fill at 74.14, just never filled on the second half of the trade. And then I covered for, I want to say it was 8, 20, and 30. 73.70 was my last cover on that roll down. And I still ended up down on the day. It was just, I wanted to close the day out following my process. It took me all day to get back to the point where I was mentally able to put the trade on, and I was emotionally able to take another stop. And that's important, right? I want to explain that for just a second. Sometimes you just get to the point where you're demoralized during the day and you go, if I take another stop, you have 2 important questions. One's actually more important than the other. Are you going to go on tilt, meaning you're going to take 10 more trades and bury your account, right? And the second question is, if you can take another trade, can you get yourself mentally aligned to take a trade that's actually on process? Took me all afternoon and multiple walks around my office till I finally came back in. I said, hey, that's my highest odds setup right there. Speed bar up with fractals on each side of them, speed bars on each side. We closed below, and I said, I'm willing to lose money there. I took the trade, and I had no idea we were going to roll down however many points we rolled down. It was just the right setup. And that's what I was trading. That's what I'll be trading today. Okay, so I will look for the 3 up and 3 down to start working again. And when the market becomes more gentle, it will. If it doesn't, I'll need the 3 up and 3 down to be in combination with fractals. And that'll let me know that I have a higher odds fractal trade. But I won't take the 3 up, 3 down until I witness it working over multiple days. And then the last piece is, which is why I loaded this chart back over here. Okay. We go back. This is a 10-minute bar. All right. I'm going to drag this in. Let's make sure we have the time sets correctly. We do. Okay. And what you will notice, only back to August, but a lot of times when the market's grinding up like this, the down days tend to be one-day wonders. And then we resume, right? As you drag through, we resume the roll. So if you remember before we started to roll over, right? We'll end up with one nasty down day like this, and then it'll push out from there. Okay. And I don't know yet whether we are actually about to have another really October through December where we roll down really hard, or whether we are about to, or that's just a one-day wonder. The other thing I want to point out on this chart, see how we started, this is late, early October, right? See how we rolled down really hard and you said, oh my gosh, it's all going to go to zero. Look at the constant counter rotations we had. And if you just draw your 50-60s, right, back in, look how many times we came back to the 50-60, right? This is a great picture of, oh, we're going to zero. Someone could have gotten bearish here and gotten annihilated in 140-point ES counter rotation back up if they got bearish in the hole. And again, over here, you could have said, oh, we're going to zero, right? Look from that swing to this swing, right? We constantly tend to come back to that 50 retrace, even if eventually we are going to make significantly newer lows. And shorting in the hole, even when it looks super bearish, look a couple of days later. This is right before we're on the precipice of ugliness, right? And you got ripped from 25.80 all the way up to 28.23, right? So my point behind that is it's hard. When you hear someone say, hey, I shorted the top and I stayed short all the way down, it is really freaking hard to put on a short. Everyone wants this right here where we go from 26.80 to 23.20 in a couple of days. That's the fantasy short trade. And that's cool. It happens once in a blue moon. The majority of the time, it's this, where we get rapid down and then hard slingshots back to the upside. My encouragement to you would be throw away the news, pay no attention to it, and let the market counter rotate back up. Anyways, that's my 2 cents about that. I hope that all makes sense. And what else was I going to say? Actually, I have nothing else to say. That's it. So let's go make money. CL's pretty much the same formula. I'm going to close this out, close this. And the setup that I'm looking for specifically, there's my NQ, there's my 1 range, 3 range. Why do I have a 1 range? ES, got it. Then I'll cover CL in just 1 second. What I am looking for in CL, okay, my best setup is if I can get both fractals to be speed bars. That's an algo that triggers those. Or I get a speed bar up, speed bar down, we close underneath, and I look for the roll, or vice versa. Outside of value, right? But even if I don't get both sides being speed bars, if I can get a speed bar like this, when I have a fractal up, fractal down, and I can close behind the portion of the fractal that's a speed bar, that's a short for me, right? So fractal up, fractal down still works. 3 up, 3 down. You can see right here that was 3 down, closed above, launched. I expect today to be a lot more a little easier. Let's put it that way. Again, you'll see at 3:40 in the morning. We got the close above, it pushed. Those are some nice trades, right? That's my 2 cents about that. And then the 50-60 back. So I'm looking at location. I've already posted those, right? I know generally where I want to trade. I have a good idea of whether I'm inside of value or outside of value, right? And then the last piece in that formula, let me minimize everything here, is risk management, making sure the stop and the size is correct for both what I've laid out in my trade plan and how I intend to execute. So that's my 3 cents. I'm waiting until after 9 o'clock. Econ wise, we have, I'll tell you really quick. Dum, bum, 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 bum. Nine and nothing. We have something out of Europe. That's pretty much it. Right. So we all know the formula of what I'm looking for. Per example, on ES, I close underneath here. That's a valid short. Right. My stop has to be around 2509, 2509.50. Right. On NQ, over really quick. Just fix that. There we go. My goal is to find 2 to 3 good trades somewhere in the course of the day. Right. Fractal up, fractal down, shot across the bow. Again, these are valid entries. You can see again closing behind that speed bar, long liquidation down. Those are valid entries. I'm just waiting until after 9 o'clock. Let them bury it, right? And then I'm keeping my eye on where my support and resistance areas are on all of these charts. 1 second. There we go. And my next support area for this is 2 areas. So the we are underneath here, so this actually shows. Right. Pull this all in so you can see the whole big picture. Okay. There's the high. There's Friday's low. Right. That shows the overnight. You can see they front run right in front of the support. I expect a response still out of this location first time in. Right. And I am looking for shorts, obviously, because everyone thinks we're going to zero to bury themselves. The counter rotation back up. This is the top of an. So if you look right back here where that 75.27 is, what that is, or 72.60 is, there it is. There we go. Let's look at it from a profile standpoint. It'll be easier to see. My key profile. There it is. Grab it. Drag it across these lines. If you go back to the left, what you will see are 2 things that are important. Right over click. Really? We are trading over here. Hold on, I gotta grab this. 312. This is where we're trading. This is the obvious target. And if we go drag that back behind there, what you will see is, see how we had a close here? This is the top of an open window. And that's the top of the gap. See that little area right there? Right at between 72.56 and 72.50 where they didn't fill. There's actually a half gap in there. I would be surprised if we don't get a response out of that area. Every retail trader will be looking at that open gap right there, right? And there's a little anomaly right back here. It's not a very good anomaly, but it's on a stretch, right? And then if we look a little bit further back, This is the last thing that needs to be repaired within reason, which is all the way back at 7140. That's a lot of down, but those are the key areas, right? So we're combining this with, can we get fractals up, fractals down? And I highly doubt that they can push all the way to the downside without getting some kind of response and coming back and smacking people. Also notice in the US session, see how we opened up and we've traded through this area? So that's US session, right? We opened right here. We rejected out of this yellow zone. Test one, reject, push above, attempted to get back into Friday's range, failed, backside test, blue speed bar. See how if you close behind them, or in this case, red speed bars are closed above and they pushed, right? Combined with fractals. This is what I'm looking for today, and there's a reason why I'm doing that, right? Number one, I didn't have a great week last week, and I had, well, it wasn't a bad day, but it wasn't a good day by any means of the imagination, right? And I want to walk out of here going, I put on size and got my P&L down. So what I'm looking for is the fractal speed bars to the downside, right? Which are giving me reasonable setups that I can get above just like this for these pushes, right? That is what I'm hunting. I'm simply hunting them after 9 a.m. And I'm doing that on CL, NQ, and ES, all three of those. And I anticipate that I'll probably get paid pretty nicely on all of that. Hold on one second here. Let me drag this back over. CL, and I will wait very patiently. Again, you can see the close on CL right after the open underneath. Quick shot to the downside. I just want to plug in some P&L and start the week strong, right? And here's NQ. And so I'm limiting the number of trades I'm willing to take today because I want to make sure that I get my P&L strong. So I'm moving, right, to my highest odds setup. That is pissing me off. Let's fix this. I am moving to my highest odds setups, which means I may miss a few trades here and there, but I should be able to ping in a few winning trades out of the gate and get paid. So unless anyone has any questions on that, I'm ready to go to work and get paid for the day. And oh, hold on, I'm missing one chart. I'm going to find it. There we go. Now I'm in business. Anyone have any questions, guys? Floor's open on the room. Okay, so we have 7 minutes. I'm going to turn off my domes out of demo and into real time. I'll leave the YouTube open until 9:30 this morning to see if I get some setups. I will point out the trades as they set up through the course of the day. For those of you who are new, there's a lot of things going on here. And the reason there's a lot of things going on is very specific. We are looking for very detailed order entry and very detailed order management of these trades, right? And you got to be pretty specific with how you're going to get that stuff. So anyways, long story short, real quick. I'm going to take care of a few things and then we'll get rolling. Hold on a second here. 1 minute till the top of the hour algos. And sorry, ES is off. I apologize. There we go. That should be a decent area to find a trade from, at 27.90. Close above this right here. Trigger along. See how? Stop and go right underneath. Again, make sure you reference where the zones are if you need both location from the bigger picture and the shorter picture. Not there yet on anything for me. Let them bury themselves, guys. You're pushing, I believe, into that 50-60 on ES, that 2794 down to 2780 area. You're looking for a reason to get long in this location on both NQ and ES, right? So this is not the highest odds setup, but it is a good setup. That is a trigger long right there. Again, I'm looking for the speed bar setup for a long, but that is a valid long setup right there. Okay, you can see the immediate response that the market had. Then you have to decide whether you want to short in the hole on this or not. So that's a trigger, right? 50-60 back. And if we look at the profile, simply haven't made it into support on NQ yet. All right, so it's just trying to bounce in the middle of two support areas. This gives you the highest odds of getting a response, right? I want to show y'all something really quick. Why it's important. If you look, I posted these up on the Slack channel, right? Look from Friday. Okay, when you get to the support zone, beautiful rotations out, right? When you're trading outside of the support zone, does it trade both ways? Sure. Are there trading opportunities? Light blue are the weakest support zones. Yellow is strong and white is ultra strong. I expect a big response in that area in general, right? So if you need everything to line up, you want to wait to get a response in these yellow zones. They usually hit, right? Can't think of a week where we've gone multiple days without hitting a support area, right? But they don't always, right? Sometimes they miss, sometimes they reverse in front of it, so on and so forth. Second here. So far, nothing, guys. Right back. Excuse me a second. Hey guys, I will be long CL if we get a close above here. FYI. The stop on NQ is too far off the low. I'm going to take it, but I will take that CL. And does that trigger? I'm actually triggered, so I will take it here at 58.32. Stop is 20 cents, just FYI. No, that's not right. We roll. In the world. Hold on 1 second. I've got an issue with my CL chart trade, my dome. Dang it. There we go, fixed. I am trying to bid in at 58.32. I missed it by a hair there, guys. I'll take 33 actually if they'll give it to me. I've got 33 and 32. Stop, right, is down here on my swing low. This is half, right? Then I'll take the other half on the flip. So I got 33 and 32 filled. So let's just call it 33. And I'm going to stop it at 58.13, 20 cents. Okay. So my fractal up, fractal down, closed above, right? And it may stop, right? I don't have location there. That is generally a valid setup. 3 up, 3 down, close above, push. And I will add on my 50-60 retrace on that. So I'm going to add at 58.26 to that trade. I got 58.26. My average is 58.29 against 58.13. And I will type that out. I'm sure you do, Daniel. Again, if I get stopped, it's just the first trade of the week, right? So we closed above, my fractal up, fractal down. We got the point of control above, right? So obviously I don't want to get stopped, but I am willing to take that trade to the long side. Why is that? That's set up correctly. That's fine. Again, I'm just following process. I closed above my speed bar up, speed bar down, fractal above. That should generally push, right? It may take 2 shots at that. And then in the notes, the problem is it's not at a yellow support zone. Why is this all off? No trigger here, unfortunately. First scale out on that will be 58.39 to take 10 cents off. I did not get the trade to set up an ES or an NQ. And if you hate the trade, you're obviously up on it, right? You can punch it out. I'm staying patient with it. Did anyone get 39 cents? It traded there, but I don't think it filled anybody. Just FYI. It traded right there to the tick. I did not get a fill. Just FYI. Okay. Did anyone else get filled? If you're concerned, as y'all have seen, I've missed fills by a tick to come back and have it stop on me. If you need to adjust or bail on the trade, I totally understand. I don't know how I engineered it to nail me just at a tick and not fill me, but I did not get filled. FYI. I don't have a short set up yet, but that's 3 up right there. You do not want it to close behind here with a point of control underneath. Do not want a point of control underneath that. So manage to your own risk. It should have filled us. That's really unfortunate. I'm still in the trade, and as you know, I will take the stop. I'll wait to get filled or stopped, one of the two. If we close underneath, it's reason enough to bail on the trade, but not until then. So far, the POC has not gotten underneath this 3 up, which means the trade's still alive for me. Again, if you need to bail on this trade, you're profitable on it, right? I'll hang around and wait for my 39 cents. Three more pennies. There's really nothing much standing in the way of doing it. We just need to get it done. There's 121 contracts sitting at 58.38. You may want to front run them by a tick at 58.37 if you need an out. If we clear that 58.38, you are free to lift off. But you have to clear that 38 first. I need one more. Anyone get filled on the 39? Come on. I did not get filled 39 cents. So I don't want to be a jerk for a tick. I'll lower it to 38 cents. Trying to grab 38. Did anyone get 39? I'm getting impatient with this stupid thing. Guys, I didn't get it. I wouldn't take a loss on it. That's 2 taps now. I would not take a loss on that trade. That should have been an easy 39 cents. So moving stop to break even. As much as I hate to do that. That's 2 taps without getting filled. That should have been easy. That sucks. It's all right. No short setup, by the way. I'm still at 38 cents, hoping to get filled. But my stop's at break even right now. If I get filled, I'll adjust the stop again. And you can obviously just take your 4 or 5 cents if that would make you feel better. It looks like I don't survive. That's unfortunate. Oh, maybe. Haven't tagged me yet. And I am hit. Big commissions. I would trigger a short, by the way, guys. It's late. It would. If it closed with a negative bar behind here. If. Oh, that really sucks how they kind of held me on that. That is a short trigger right there on CL. I want to see where I am. $73.12 roughly against the 73.24 short. I will attempt that. I am taking that at 73.13. Did not fill. How's that possible? Did it just fall away? I'm limit 73.13 to fill that. Damn, I'm just off by a hair and it just fell straight away. It's 73.13 against a 73.24 stop. It's an 11-point stop. And I am filled. Okay, so if I'm going to draw this back, right, I'm working off that fractal right there. I'm obviously not going to use my swing high. I'm going to use it to measure where my 50-60 is. There's your 62 retrace. I will add 73.20, stop 73.24. So actually, let's make it a 1950 add. You have double parallel fractals right there. So caution on the point of control above here would trigger along. It's getting noisy, right? And then you want to measure the 50-60 back off the swing low, which would put you at, damn, we already hit it once, 73.08. $73.20 was added. 73.24 finishes at me. That puts me at 73.16 average. Do not stop me. So my risk is 8 points, a little bit under 8 points right now. If I get tagged on this, and it looks like I'm going to, that'll suck. Tag on tap. Stopped. What did I do wrong there? And stopped to the tick on top of that. Fractal up, fractal down. Apologies, guys. I just figured we would continue the roll. Closed underneath. 50, 60 back. We just pushed into the 50, 60. I'll wait for the next setup. So that puts me a little frustrated again today. Obviously, I just missed my scale on CL, and NQ just tagged me for 8 points, which isn't horrible, but that kind of sucks. I may just not have enough stretch off the bottom to grab that. This is where we should be headed. I will attempt this one more time. If we close underneath here, I will reset that trade back up. If we get a point of control underneath here, that really bites. I will attempt a 50-60 with a stop right above. I won't take it underneath. I'm just chopping back and forth. Wow. Talk about frustrating. And I cannot. No fill so far. No trigger. As a matter of fact, the opposite triggered long. Everything lifted. That sucks. Okay. Not the easiest start to the morning, but that's all right. Bill, any thoughts? Anyone? Oops, let me mute everyone. 1 second. Derek, does that fix? Everyone should be muted. Total frustration. I missed my lawn. Guys, I'm going to swap this for just a second. I need to make a quick adjustment here. Oh, that really sucks. I had that nailed. Okay, back to the drawing board. Quiet morning. I missed my entry and I got to stop. That sucks. Not happy with myself at the second, but I will get it corrected. I want to give the short side of the trade one more shot. I'm shorting 73.41 if they'll give it to me. No fill yet. No fill yet. Stop will be 10 points from that, or actually 11 points from this stop. Got to realize the risk here is I get tagged into this location here. This 73.52 and a quarter is a retest prior day's low. Is that correct? Hold this. Excuse me, we're already in. Sorry. Hold on one second. Oh, no, that is correct. That is prior day's low. Still trying to grab that 73.41. No fill yet. You can actually stop it if it closes back above this fractal right here. I'm not. I'm going to use this fractal over here to the left. I should have gotten the 41 right there. Let me check my dome. I am short 73.41. You have to manage from there. I'm looking for 50-60 back to scale that. Sorry, guys, a bit off. Looking for a push down towards 73.28. Again, you'll have to manage your own risk. Obviously, I'm a little bit off this morning. The ad for me will come around 73.45, 44 to 45. Bill, I'm missing it. Can you give me a price? I don't see him upstairs. Old info. Thanks. Yeah, I see the double fractals that triggered. Same thing on CL. That just really kind of bit all the way around. Scaling a 73.29 if I can get it. You can scale earlier. Obviously, we have a 41, so a 31 would be a 10-point trade, right? And again, I'm a little bit off this morning, so manage the trade to your own risk. We got a decent entry. Doesn't mean that they'll turn and roll it right down. I really don't want to get back above this again. Bill, are we still one more week until we adjust on the London close appropriately? Damn, I'm not happy with the CL trade. Guys, this would trigger technically a long above here. You got to decide whether you're going to stick out the trade or not. Okay. I may have two stops back to back. I've just been not on the smoothest run on the face of the earth here between Friday and today, between not getting my fill on CL to the tick, which has happened multiple times, right, to stopping it out break even, to getting stopped on my first NQ trade. So the reason I tell you all that, guys, is when I'm on, I'm on. If I'm off a little bit, I'm off, right? So this is going to trigger a long, right? So if it comes and breaks a new high out there, I will get stopped. I'll put me 16 on the day. 10, 5, 16, correct on the day. My average is up at 73, 42, 75. And I'd be lying if I said I was not a little frustrated. Particularly with CL. NQ actually doesn't bother me that much. I don't know why I'm having a hard time getting a rhythm this morning. Obviously need it below 73.40 to get things rolling to the downside again. And that did absolutely no good in terms of me getting, I'll flip this back so everyone can see the S. The CL hurts. I think that CL trade hurts. For the nanosecond, I'm up on the NQ. Again, if you need out, you're up on the trade, right? Everyone in the room knows I will stay with my trades. Can't get paid if I don't. First scale is going to be 32 now on that, and I'm already there. Take off the ad. on just a few more little points. Again, if you need to scale along the way or you don't want to wait for the 32, I understand, particularly since I've been off on Friday and today to a certain degree. All right, so we're 3 points away from that scale. Come on, Simon. The other option is to flat it. If you can't get it down there, you saw how that worked out for CL. Oh, that should have been an easy push to 32. Guys, I may get stopped. It's pushing. If I get tagged on this trade, which I'm about to, I am going to take a walk around the block. I'm going to end the YouTube thing because I'm off today, obviously, if that's the case. All right. Barely missed getting stopped on that. If I get stopped, I'll take a walk around the block and reset. Obviously, I have the incorrect idea at that point. At this point, 2 stops, and it looks like that's just an inevitability at this point. My stop's just like it'll take nothing to hit it. There's no point of control above this fractal yet, but they're working on it. No. stopped. Okay, guys, I'm going to take a break here. I apologize. Not my best performance at all. 2 days in a row now, and I totally blew the CL turn. So I'm not sure why I'm so off. It's a little frustrating. And it sure looks like I'm going to get I don't know what I'm missing here. So let me see if I can fix it. I need to go through my journal real quick. And obviously it's not a disaster. We picked up, 20 to 30 points right at the end of the day, and we still haven't closed on a fractal above here, which makes me want to, the problem here is I want to re-enter this trade almost immediately. And I'm just off. Whatever I'm missing, right? So I just need to go back through and look at that. 830, roll down, consolidation, right? Fractal up, fractal down, closed underneath. Maybe it was just too late in my process. Fractal trend line, shot across the bow. That's the bar. Came back, pulls all the way up, stops. Right? And then earlier, again off the lift, right? Fractal trend line break. Fractal up, fractal down, closes underneath, stops me again. So I'm obviously off on the trade a little bit. I'm not getting triggered at the bottom on NQ. And it's pretty rare that I get run over twice. Actually, it's very rare. So totally frustrated. I'm not angry or I don't want to vengeance trade it or anything. I'm just like, what the heck? Right? And then on CL, here I'll go through it. The good, the bad, and the ugly, right? You get it right, you get it right, you get it wrong. I had the entry correct. And just pinned. Speed bar up, speed bar down, entry, 50, 60 back. I couldn't get my first scale off, missed it by a tick, right? Lost patience with the trade. I should have just let for the same reason I just let NQ stop me. I should have let CL stop me. I just let a $500 contract trade roll away from me. So that's double frustration for me. So I'm going to have to go through. So what I'm going to do is journal my notes, what I thought, what I wanted to accomplish, and what the difficulty is, and I'll get it fixed. So I'll talk to you in just a sec. And guys on YouTube, thanks for joining the good, the bad, and the ugly.